Hey leaders, Rikki Schwartz here from the Center for Agile Leadership. I just want to take a couple of minutes to talk about this thing we've been hearing about endlessly recently, and that's the concept of business agility. So what is business agility? Well, generally speaking, business agility is the ability of an organization to respond to change, both internally and externally, without compromising delivery of value to their customer. So in a nutshell, that's business agility. So who's business agility for? Any organization facing change. And to my mind, that's any organization. Because I cannot imagine an organization that isn't facing some kind of change all the time. Whether it's market changes, competition changes, pricing changes, employee changes, regime changes. Basically speaking, that says that business agility is for everyone. So I think what's most important in terms of this video is, what are the values of business agility? What does it mean to be business agile? As you might imagine, business agility mirrors the same principles and tenets of agile and agile leadership, hence the name. So let's go through some of those key principles of agile leadership so you can kind of see how it fits in with business agility. First of all, agile leaders favor individuals over processes and interactions. It's all about the people, not about the paper that we have something written on or something we've done the same way forever and ever. All about the human beings. The human element is very important in an agile culture or a business agile culture. Secondly, we respond to change versus sticking to that plan. It's all about making sure that we're not married to anything other than success for the customer. Next, we embrace an iterative change process. So what do I mean when I say iterative change process? It means that we do something, we test it. If it doesn't work, we change it. We also call that the inspect and adapt model. Do it, test it. If it doesn't work, change it. Iterative change, very, very critical to the agile environment. Next, we nurture collaboration and transparency. Why? Because trust is a key element, particularly during times of change. So we nurture that collaboration component, we nurture that transparency component, both amongst team members and between the team members and the customer. Collaboration and transparency, incredibly important in an agile or a business agile culture. Next, we involve the customer at every turn. When I talked about you're going to do something, test it, if it doesn't work, change it, you've got to have the customer there at those turns. You've got to have the customer available and happy, in fact, to say, no, that's not what we were looking for, or yes, you're absolutely on the right track. Next, we move away from the command and control approach. We create and we embrace self-managing, self-organizing employees and teams. Well, how do you get to self-managing, self-organizing employees and teams? A few ways. The first one is to empower them. And the second one is to foster a kind of personal accountability. And where does that come from? Well, it comes from the empowerment, but it also comes from arming them with the organization's vision and mission and core values. And once you have an employee who has been empowered and understands the organization's mission and vision and core values, they can make key decisions without ever having to involve management. They can move something along from point A to point Z just armed with those elements. Next, we embrace risk and we embrace experiments, which also kind of means we embrace failure. Without failure, without those risks, without those experiments, we haven't adapted to anything. We haven't changed anything. We're just doing things the way it's always been. So we embrace those risks and we embrace those experiments. And last but not least, we empower our frontline employees to be the key decision makers, kind of turn the organizational chart upside down. They're the ones talking to the customers at every turn. They're the ones in the field. They're the ones who know how things work and how things don't work. So we give the frontline employees that key decision-making power, and we ask that the managers and the senior leaders underneath them are there to support them. So again, we turn the organizational chart upside down. So, is business agility a new concept? No, it is not. But the Center for Agile Leadership specializes in teaching a functional, sustainable path to business agility. Our mission has always been to teach our clients how to get to the crux of business agility. And what is that? It's agile thinking for everyone in the business, not just IT, which means what? An enterprise-wide agile culture. So here's my challenge question for you. Are you or your organizational leaders still stuck on the notion that agile is only for the IT professionals in your organization? And if so, how long do you think your whole train is going to be able to respond to your customers' changing needs when you've only got one car on the track? Instead, go to the centerforagileleadership.com and look up our Leading Cultural Transformation Kickstarter. Leading Cultural Transformation Kickstarter. It's just that. It's a one-day Kickstarter so that the leaders in your organization can begin to understand those tenets and principles I just went over so they can kickstart their culture into one of business agility. Thanks for listening, guys. Talk to you soon.